Hi, I'm Evelyn Brooks, and in this virtual author event, I'll be reading Chapter 1 from the third edition of my personal transformation book titled You Were Born to Triumph, Activate Your Magnificence. So let's get started. Chapter 1. Prepare your menu from your heart's inner longings. Welcome to your quantum kitchen. As in any professional kitchen, you'll find this one is orderly and well stocked with everything you could possibly desire. Some of the ingredients and equipment might be new to you, but don't worry about that because I'll show you how to use all the special features. Before you know it, you'll be dishing up a life that brings you indescribable joy and pleasure. You'll also do what most chefs do. You'll visit other people's kitchens and restaurants to check out what they are doing. You'll see things that you'd like to adapt in your own kitchen, and many other things that you don't want. Just because someone else is cooking up fear and anger in their kitchen doesn't mean you have to imitate them. Peruse the menu choices. What's the first thing you do when you sit down at the table in a restaurant you've never been to before? That's right, you look at the menu so you can decide what sounds good to you, what you'd like to order from the kitchen. Maybe the people you're with have been in this place before, and someone urges you to get the eggplant dish the restaurant is famous for. Others chime in that you really should try it. If you don't know your own taste and don't trust your own preferences, you might simply go along with their suggestion and get the eggplant. But what if you don't like eggplant? To know that, you had to taste it at one time in your life and decide it's not to your liking. Although, as a picky eater, I will admit I was quite capable of glaring at food on my plate as a child and announcing I hated even things I had never tasted. Those preferences we form about food are fairly easy to track. We try something, we like it, or we don't like it. Maybe we have a strong opinion. It tastes horrible, or it's so delicious we want the recipe from the chef. In our quantum kitchen, deciding what we want works in a similar fashion. We explore our options. Our experiences and observations give us clues about what we don't want and what we do want. We absorb millions of rapid impressions with our senses, and then our mechanical tracking system, our brain, shapes all the information into our opinions. Unfortunately, most of us bumble through life deciding to ask for what we are pretty sure we can get. We don't push ourselves to try that unusual new dish. After all, what if we don't like it? Then what? We'd be stuck with it, and we'd have to pay for it. Your owner's cookbook. Have you ever found yourself grumbling that life should have come with an instruction manual? Understanding more about our universe reveals that actually we did come, complete with two essential tools that we need to live a happy life. 1, the power of our thinking, and 2, the emotions to let us know whether what we are thinking is leading us to something that will feel good or to something that will feel bad. Those two tools are enough, yet most of us have forgotten how to use them effectively and efficiently. By the time you finish this book, if you're willing to follow my 5-step recipe, you'll be using these two tools like a pro in your quantum kitchen. James Allen says in As a Man Thinketh, quote, "Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of thought, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace." End quote. Read this next sentence slowly and let the concept permeate every cell of your body. We experience what we create with our thoughts. The legend behind our foggy memories. In No Goodbyes, My Search into Life Beyond Death, famed Hearst newspaper reporter and best-selling author Adela Rogers St. John's writes, quote, "There is a Talmudic legend which suggests that just before we are born, an angel presses his fingertip upon our upper lip, causing the indentation we have there and erasing from our minds everything that we already know about the nature of the world and the nature of God, so that we have to learn it all over again." End quote. I am here to help you remember. You are already a skilled manifester. Take a look at toddlers And you'll see that all of us came here prepared to learn, to keep trying, to focus on goals, and to persist until we get them. Watch a 2-year-old who spots a desired toy across the room. He'll push through a forest of adult legs and crunch over other toys on the floor to reach the object of his desire. We used to do that too, and then we forgot how to reach out with both hands for what we want, except in boxed-in, acceptable formats of carefully choosing a goal that is reasonably within reach and then going after it with grim determination and not much joy, if any. You manifested the life you are living right now. If it's not to your liking, it's simply the case of the person in the restaurant who ordered what others said would be good and didn't take the time or give himself the permission to decide what he would really love to have. It's okay to send things back and request more seasoning, another side dish, a new sauce, or an entirely new dinner. Backwards thinking. I believe the main problem lies in the fact that the mass consciousness of our culture teaches us a backwards way of living, where we primarily react to what is already going on around us, and then we use that reality as a basis for our new thoughts and keep thinking about what we see. Thus, we experience more and more of the same. Our thoughts create our results. Even if they are old thoughts, they don't rust out, they don't wear out or wither from old age. They keep on producing until the day we die, unless we change those thoughts by deciding to do so. Have you ever eavesdropped on someone who is meeting up with a friend? As they hug or slap each other on the back, guy style, one says, "Hey, how are you? How are things going?" And the other replies, same old, same old. If you're tired of that same old experience in your own life, then let's get to work. In order to triumph in life, we don't have to try to force anything. It's a matter of allowing all the good we desire to flow freely into our experience. Easier said than done, right? Maybe you've been using positive affirmations and haven't seen the desired results. I'll explain more about that later on and show you the trick to making positive affirmations actually work for you. I spent years spinning in my tracks because I didn't know that trick. So I'm happy to share the shortcut in this book. What are you creating now? You are already creating a life for yourself. All of us do this every single day. But most of us are repeating the wrong thoughts on a regular basis, and thus magnetizing unwanted results to us. Do any of these inner chat statements sound familiar to you? I can't stand that guy. I hope I never get anything like that. I am so scared that I'll get mugged. I'll probably get cancer. I don't deserve to have that kind of success. I shouldn't be too greedy. This is good enough for me. I always catch every cold that's going around. Knowing me, I'll probably screw up this important meeting or interview. Manifest what I want? Who, me? Don't be ridiculous. It doesn't work that way. I'll get around to this visioning stuff later. I'm too busy just getting along to take time off to plan my life. In his book called The Life Triumphant, James Allen says, quote, "Your strength is with you, and you can spend it in burrowing downward or in climbing upward. You can dissipate it in selfishness or conserve it in goodness. The same energy will enable you to become a beast or a god. The course along which you direct it will determine its effect." End quote. It's in our own power to choose the course we take and to keep directing our thoughts and actions along that path. First, we have to start with a decision about the course we are going to travel. Otherwise, we continue the way most people do, simply reacting to what's going on, heading down a path in life because friends are going that way, and acting as if we wear blinders. In my own life, for many years, I felt that I was a pinball in a pinball machine. Everyone else had the power to slap me with a lever or push me in a certain direction. All I could do, I thought, was to react and to cope the best that I could with every situation that cropped up. I was clueless that I was inadvertently creating all of the results I experienced. I remember sharing that image of myself with a friend about 20 years ago, and instead of disagreeing with me, she said that it sounded like her own life too, and she appreciated the visual I provided to describe it. We commiserated with each other and unwittingly perpetuated our state of disempowerment. Vow to give up that clueless state once and for all. Take charge of your life. Here's how to start. Decide what you want. Have you ever been in a restaurant with a friend who couldn't make up her mind what she wanted to order? Frustrating, isn't it? Don't you want to grab the menu from her hands and order for her? Just make up your mind already. Let's get started by envisioning the life you want. Perhaps you're familiar with some of the Abraham Hicks material that focuses on helping us understand how this universe works. Much of their message is repeated in books and movies about the law of attraction, but you may not have known what the source of the information was because they are so freely quoted by many teachers and authors. Here is something from Abraham Hicks to help you understand more about selecting what you want. Quote, "Some of the ingredients in this well-stocked kitchen are harmonious with your creation, and some of them are not. But even though adding some of these ingredients to your creation would absolutely ruin your pie, you do not feel the need to push against those ingredients or to ban them from the kitchen, because you understand that there's no reason for them to end up in your pie unless you put them in it. And since you are clear about which ones enhance your creation and which ones do not enhance it, you feel no concern about the great variety of ingredients that exist." End quote. Many times it is much easier to get clear on what we do want by noticing things we don't want and then fine-tuning them. In the film When Harry Met Sally, Sally, played by Meg Ryan, is always very specific when ordering in a restaurant. She'll start with what she sees on the menu and then tell the server how the chef should modify it to suit her own taste. We can learn from her technique, as in this scene, Sally. "But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side, and I like strawberry instead of vanilla if you have it. If not, then no ice cream. Just whipped cream, but only if it's real. If it's out of the can, then nothing." Waitress, not even the pie? Sally, "No, I want the pie, but then not heated." In a restaurant, we often ask for something to be left off the plate that we don't want. But in working with the universal laws, it is crucial to understand this is an inclusion-only universe. Infinite intelligence is all-powerful, but it doesn't understand the word no. There isn't a provisional vibrational frequency for the tagline, "No," or "not that." Our attention to anything, wanted or unwanted, is tantamount to saying, "Yes, give me that." The quicksand called, "But I don't want that." In the next section, you'll be invited to describe the life you would love to be living. Before you design your life menu, however, I want to point out that you will only find positive words to choose from, meaning they describe what you do want. When we focus on what we don't want, even while trying to be clear about our life, we inadvertently set up a vibration within our body, which is an electronic system, that broadcasts a request on that frequency. Everything, absolutely everything, vibrates. Here's where you may start scratching your head, trying to understand how the law of attraction and other related laws work. If what you want sets up a vibration within you, then why does it matter if you define your desire with words that describe what it is not? The reason is that when we focus on what we do not want without consciously realizing it, we downshift our gear to the vibration related to lack. We vibrate a message all about not having what we want. So, in exchange for that vibration, we continue to receive the lack of our desire. We get more things we don't like. We get feeling out of sorts with a friend. We get a hohum relationship. What we are asking for with this vibration language we all use, but most of us never learned how to become fluent in, is to receive in return all things that are a frequency match to what we've requested. Build your understanding of the universe's vibrational language so you become fluent and skilled in using it. Then you will be able to call forth all you desire. If you're transmitting a happy vibration, you get things that resonate with happiness. Love, peace of mind, good luck, people helping you just when you need that assistance to move forward in a project, doors opening for you to success and prosperity, the love of your life showing up right in front of you, all the good things you want. And, of course, the converse is true. When we're on an unhappy frequency vibration, thinking and focusing about what we dislike, fear, and don't want in our life, that's how we attract more and more of what we don't want. Illness, accidents, broken hearts. The old saying, the rich get rich and the poor get poorer, is based on the unchangeable and eternal law of attraction. At first, this system might seem grossly unfair. After all, we can go in a restaurant and tell the server what we do and don't want on our sandwich plate to refine our request, leave off the mayo and add extra tomato slices. All the people around us, every conversation we've grown up with and participate in now, model a way of interacting with life that is primarily about saying what we don't like and what we don't want to experience. Please don't misunderstand what I'm sharing. It's not that we should be upset that there are things around us that we don't like. In fact, it is vital that we do have the contrast of not liking that over there so we can get even clearer about this over here that we do want. However, the quicksand most of us get sucked into is that it feels dramatic and powerful to talk about what we dislike, what we don't want, and what we're scared of getting. We talk about problems. We worry about disaster that hasn't come but just might. We compare notes about relationships and terrify each other with stories about horrible things that happened to us or that we learned have happened to others. I did this for many years and couldn't figure out why my life didn't change much. In my experience, whenever I complained to close friends, I could count on them to validate my perception of reality by agreeing that my relationship was a train wreck, that his behavior was the root cause of my unhappiness, and that I was right to keep on trying to fix him, although the task was probably hopeless. Also, they would reinforce my viewpoint by sharing their own similar stories, or what had happened to a friend of theirs. Unfortunately, we didn't realize that all we were doing was perpetuating our broadcast to the universal mind that in essence said, "Send me more things to complain about." Our orderly universe did just that, and I remained trapped in relationships with angry and aloof men for far too many years, completely oblivious to the truth that I was creating my own reality. I thought my part in things was that I stayed. It turns out that I was a co-creator of the relationship each and every time. That recognition can at first feel discouraging, but with this new awareness comes the power to change. What are you asking for? There is a lot of anecdotal evidence available in books and films about how we end up bringing disease, dis-ease, into our lives with our thoughts of fear. There's a beautiful logic in how our universe is structured, and once we learn the laws by which it operates, we can play the game of life like an expert and start winning all the time. It can be a challenge to counteract the mass thinking that still sees this world as working in an outside-in mode. This view states that what can be documented, tallied, and charted is more important than what your invisible thoughts and feelings are. I urge you to find out more about the relationship between our thoughts and our health in books such as Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. Are you unlucky or lucky? Once we grasp the inner workings of our relationship with the universe, it does reveal itself as far more fair than the random good luck versus bad luck stories that most of us were raised to believe in. When good things happen, that means we've got good luck. But when the results are not to our liking, the conversation shifts to complaining that we've got bad luck and that other people are the ones with all the luck, as if there is a finite amount of that elusive thing called luck and it is randomly apportioned. In the film Pleasantville, a modern-day teenage brother and sister, played by Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon, are magically transported into the world of a black and white TV sitcom set in 1958. Mr. Johnson, Jeff Daniels, who runs the soda shop, confides in teen Bud, Tobey Maguire, that Christmas is his favorite time of the year because every year he gets to paint a different holiday scene, although in black and white paint, on the soda shop windows. Bud brings Mr. Johnson an art book that is in full color. While gazing in awe at the color photos of Monet, Van Gogh, Titian, and other masters, Mr. Johnson says that he could never paint like that. Bud, well, you just started. You can't do it now. Mr. Johnson, no, it's not that. It's just, where am I going to see colors like that? I must be awful lucky to see colors like that. I'll bet they don't know how lucky they are. The story is about awakening to possibilities and raising awareness to live your dreams. Later in the film, after Mr. Johnson has tasted the joy of painting with colors instead of the black, white, and gray palette available to him before he met Bud, he says, I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't paint anymore, Bud. Now that he's savored the freedom of expressing his talents and desires and has brought forth his ideas from his thinking mind into the physical realm, Mr. Johnson is hooked on creating more. He can't go back to the old black and white, safe and constricted life he was leading before. Take a look at your own experiences, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Where are you living a life that is based on a belief in a random roll of the dice? Where is your life showing up in black and white instead of full color? Where would you like to see delicious change? Set aside the ho-hum wantings. When I was 10, for some reason I'm not sure of today, I developed a burning desire to have a pet monkey. Not a big one, just a sweet, I thought, little monkey. Probably I'd seen one in a movie or on television. No one had to tell me to think about that monkey. No one had to suggest, hey, create a vision board and do affirmations about it 3 times a day. That monkey was all I could think about in every waking moment. I was obsessed with the idea of owning a monkey. I pictured myself playing with him, dressing him in cute outfits that I would sew. My mother was an excellent seamstress, and I envisioned her cheerfully, putting aside all her other projects to help me. In my mind's eye, I saw my friends gathering around, enviously admiring my new pet, and wanting to play with him too. My monkey and I would be the talk of the town. But when I eagerly announced my plan to my mother, she looked me in the eye and flatly told me, no. No discussion, no talking it over. As she often said to us kids when we'd ramble on and on with an excuse about why we couldn't do something she was requesting, a simple no would be sufficient. Apparently, she felt a simple no would be sufficient to quell my dream of a monkey joining us at the dinner table each night. It turns out she was right. I gave up on the idea pretty easily. Why? Because even though I was momentarily obsessed with wanting a pet monkey, I had not invested a lot of energy into the desire. It was not a dream calling from my heart and soul. Life was not trying to express itself more fully through this image of me with a chattering monkey on my shoulder. It was a momentary craving that lasted a few days, rather than a true vision that I wished to bring forth. What are the monkeys you're still carrying around because, well, just because? Maybe it's an old idea you had in high school that you should do something or have a certain kind of lifestyle, and you didn't toss the idea out with your old mascot pennant and high school sweatshirt. It's okay to let go of it now. Bless it and wave goodbye as you release your hold on it and create an opening in your life for what you do want. Your future memoirs in the making. To assist you in planning what you want your life to look like, below are descriptive words for 4 main areas of your life: health, love, success, and freedom. Add to the list as desired so that you personalize your description to be exciting and wonderful for you. What would make you jump out of bed in the morning eager to greet a new day? Not what you think you can do, not what you think others want you to do, but what would make you really happy? It's important to take the time to discover that what. You probably want different things than I do, or even the members of your family do. It truly is possible to create a life you love. Be sure that you're not settling for what you think you can get based on past results. Make sure this new plan for yourself makes you tingle all over. Test it to be sure you feel happy just thinking about all that you are manifesting into your life. Each day is exhilarating, and you can hardly wait to begin manifesting even more joy into your experience. Life is good. We didn't come here to suffer, carry a burden of sorrow, and feel diminished. In my family, when bad things happened, my mother would sigh softly and say, "Well, we all have our cross to bear." I thought suffering was ennobling. I was going to earn another jewel on my heavenly crown if I sacrificed something I wanted in the hope that God would heed my request. I was all wrong. I didn't understand. I hadn't learned the way things really work. Life is good. We came here to triumph. Write your life menu. Below you'll find 4 lists of menu words, one each for health, love, success, and freedom. Think about what you'd like your life to look like. What if you could have everything you really want? Imagine that you are older now, living in the future, writing your memoirs, and describing your incredible life from the vantage point of looking over the past. Let go of old conditions about who you think you are and what you're able to achieve. Have fun daydreaming, like a kid who decides to be a superhero and zooms around the house with a tablecloth pinned on like a cape, imagining they have the power to save the world. As you write, tell a story about your life and how grateful and appreciative you are for it. Write the sentences in the present tense. Avoid phrases such as, "and then I'll be able to," or "I hope I can," or "I want to." Phrases like those keep our desires suspended in the not yet zone. The universe reads "not now" in a vibration and obligingly withholds results. Create a positive, juicy story about yourself and how it feels to be energetic and limber, how great it is succeeding in work you enjoy that brings service to others, how loving and harmonious your relationships are, and how much you relish all the freedom you experience in this abundant life where you travel and enjoy adventures that bring richness and meaning to your heart and soul. Health menu. Hearty, self-healing, active, spry, dynamic, alert, robust, vital, toned, limber, youthful, blooming, energetic, vigorous, flourishing, supple, robust, fit, sleep well, strong, agile, healthy, feel great, sound body and mind. Let's take a peek at what you've written. Be sure to cross out and rephrase anything like this. "I'm so happy now that I don't suffer from insomnia, indigestion, and joint pain as much as I used to. I finally lost all that weight. I'm not fat and flabby anymore. I beat that cancer scare. I hardly ever get colds now." Even though those sample sentences might sound like a great improvement in the state of health you have today, remember to make your request clear and positive. Describe what you do want and avoid putting any attention on the things you don't want, such as pain, illness, and so on. Love menu. Family, friends, romance. Easygoing, affection, support, cherish, harmony, kind, fun, generous, respectful, enjoy, thriving, goodwill, joyous, delight, tender, accept, treasure, grateful, caring, liking, amicable, loyal, genuine, authentic, passion, companionship, unconditional, soul-connected, appreciative, commitment. Again, take a look at the description about all areas of love in your life that you wish to enjoy. Maybe you want to improve a relationship you already have. State it as if that is already true. Describe the relationship as being mutually loving and caring. Write that you enjoy a closeness and harmony that is so special and dear to you, and that you treasure having this person in your life just as they treasure you. Paint a picture that evokes feelings of love and happiness in you. That upswing of vibration will get you humming with all you desire, and thus the universe will be able to respond with the relationship you want. Read your love menu out loud and notice how you feel. Do the words describe what you really want a romantic or family relationship to be like at its very best? Avoid statements that make you feel bad. That feeling could be a clue that you are still smarting from a painful relationship. For example, the residual effect from a bad breakup might prompt you to write, "This new guy is great because he actually tells me where he's going and what time he'll be home. I can trust him not to go out with other women." The underlying anger and hurt is pretty clear in that description, isn't it? It tells a story of its own about what the person experienced that they haven't healed yet, and they are afraid of attracting again. But focusing on the problems you wish to avoid will actually attract those problems into your life. Be a vibrational match to your true desires. Success menu. Goal achiever, high energy, optimistic, persistent, victorious, gracious, exultant, disciplined, prosperous, bold, winner, strategic, integrity, savvy, growing, masterful, confident, inspiring, proficient, empowered, decisive, lucky all the time, generous, leader. Writing about success can feel tricky because you want to be broad and expansive in your view of the future that you're going to experience, while writing about it as if it is already true and has happened. Give yourself permission to dream big. If you start to write, "I'm the president of my own company," and then you hastily delete that and write that you are the manager of someone else's company, pause a moment and ask yourself why you are so willing to conspire against your own life by asking the magic genie for much less than what you would really love. Include monetary goals as well. Be specific about financial success, trust funds for your kids, contributions to favorite charities, and anything else that calls to you as a way to use wealth in the world. An empowering rule of thumb you may want to follow is to imagine this monetary amount is achieved a few years from now. That helps put your doubtful thoughts to rest so that you can dream freely about big goals and set the total amount at about 5 times the highest income you've ever earned. If you are currently making $75,000 and you state the goal of being a billionaire, it's too easy for your old conditioned beliefs to talk you out of not only the money goal, but the rest of your dream as well. You could always double and triple your financial goal as you start achieving more and more success in your life. Freedom menu. Tranquility, happiness, fearless, generous, finesse, effective, abundance, soaring, brave, affluent, good finder, whole, enlightened, trusting, loving, wellness, competent, liberated, ease and flow, wise, self-acceptance, prosperity, talented, triumphant. Do you feel a sense of oneness with life and the source we all come from? As you focus on your desires, keep visualizing yourself manifesting all that you want in an easy, effortless way. Great things are happening to you now, not tomorrow, right now, in this present moment. Life is meant to be joyful and fun. Take a tip from nature and notice how effortlessly the stars and planets fulfill their purpose. As Galileo Galilei pointed out, quote, "The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do," end quote. Claim your freedom. You were born to triumph, after all. Be sure to go over what you have written about freedom, the same as you did the other 3 areas of your life, so that your sentences are positive and life-giving. your memoirs in the making. It's something you can keep rewriting as the years pass. Add to it. Check off things you've achieved. Keep pushing yourself to dream bigger and bigger. You'll love the life you create this way. Always go for what makes you feel more alive inside, more happy and joyful. Those are solid clues you can trust, like signposts along a road that let you know you are indeed heading in the right direction. Take your time with your life menu and come back to it often to write more about your life as you think of new things that you want. Affirmings. I decide now to be someone who expects the best in life. I deserve it. I believe the same me who knows innately how to heal a paper cut on my finger, a skinned knee, or a broken arm, also knows how to do the inside work of healing dis-ease. I vow to give up my old clueless state once and for all and trade it in for the knowledge I need to create a life I want. I commit to living a life triumphant from now on. End of chapter 1. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the book, You Were Born to Triumph. Activate Your Magnificent, 3rd edition. This is Evelyn Brooks, and thank you.